You're listening to the Drummer Daily Podcast, the only daily podcast dedicated just to drummers. Go to my website at danielhadaway.com. Hey there, welcome back again for another Drummer Daily. I'm Daniel, and today I am a little nervous is not the right word. Reluctant maybe is a word. I'm going to share something with you that I guess I fear that if I don't say it just right, it's gonna come across like I'm bragging or that I'm arrogant or something like that. And that's not what I want. I want to. My goal with today's episode is to try to give you encouragement or a target or something to kind of aim for if you're not there yet with your drumming. And like I said, what I'm going to describe to you is something that that I don't want it to come across like I'm bragging or anything like that. I just want you to see what's possible with your drumming. And you might already be there as well. I'm definitely not the only one who's reached the point at which I'm talking about. But I just want to preface what I'm saying with that before I go on. But so today, what I want to talk about is some people. I guess the easiest way to describe this is like drumming, like getting your 10,000 hours in of drumming. There's like the Malcolm Gladwell book about talks about getting your 10,000 hours in, and that's like when you really are a master of your craft when you've gotten 10,000 hours. And so. I guess that's the short way of saying it, and that's not really what I'm talking about as far as putting time in. But what I'm talking about is I want to give you just a couple of insights into. I've been drumming, so I'm 32 years old. I started drumming when I was 5 years old, so I've been drumming for 27 years, and pretty much nonstop for those 27 years. There's a couple of times where I didn't play much, for a period of time, but 27 years is a long time. And so, I just, what I want to give you insight into is what it feels like to have that much experience, if you're not there yet, and kind of how the mind shift set that you can achieve if you are able to put in this much time and focus and just stick with your drumming and work on this. And so there's really two things that I want to talk about that it feels like. So really what I'm saying is I want to say that what I think of is that I have with maybe eight, I will say, I'm trying to think of a way to say this that sounds accurate but doesn't sound like I'm trying to toot my own horn. I think that maybe as far as the language of drumming, and that means like playing what I'd like to say on the drums, I think I'm maybe 80% fluent. So what that means is if drumming was a language, I could probably carry on a conversation with most people in the drumming language, that as far as what I play, with 80%, without having to work at it or learn it or develop an extra skill or work on some kind of chop or something like that. So 80%, so let's just say that's fluent though. Like I know 80% language. I feel like English language, I don't know what percentage of the English language I know, common everyday English, I probably know 90% of that language. And so I'd say the same thing with drumming, common everyday drumming language that like you actually need to play songs and such. I'm probably in that same, range of language knowledge. There's a lot of crazy stuff I don't know. There's a lot of crazy English words I don't know, but I think I can carry on a normal conversation on the drums and in the English language. So, what I'm getting at with that is this. When I hear a song, and this is honestly something that snuck up on me because I've been playing drums since I was so young and I've played so much that I didn't realize this wasn't the case for most people. But when I hear a drummer playing something or see a drummer playing something, most of the time, unless I'm watching, like I said, like some dude just shredding on the drums that, is way outside of technical skill, what I am comfortable with or good enough to play. There's no stopping and thinking about what they're playing. If I were to hear a song, I could immediately, after hearing the song or hearing a drummer, just pick up the sticks and start playing it exactly what he played. Very detailed, not just the general idea. Very close. In the same way, if I were to if you were to take any sentence in this podcast, you could repeat it back to me, word for word, whatever I just said. You wouldn't have to think about it. You wouldn't have to wonder how my mouth is moving to make those sounds, or what I'm doing in my lungs or in my vocal cords to create that sound. You already know how to make each of those sounds. It's a language you're familiar with. So if I asked you to repeat it back to me, you could just do it without thinking about it. And I think that my long experience on the drums has gotten me to that same place. And so if you're not there yet, know that that's possible. That there will come a day when you don't need to worry about transcriptions of drum parts. Like I said, for most things you're going to want to play, you can just hear something and just play it. It makes drumming a lot of fun when you listen to the radio or you put your headphones in and want to play along. But without going over the top on this, I want you to understand that you can just hear something and just play it, and it's the language of drums. If you think of something, you can just play it. You don't have to work out how you're going to do it. You just do it. And so the same way with sentences, I don't think about how I'm going to say the word coffee cup or the words coffee cup. See, maybe I'm not that good at English after all. I just look at a coffee cup and I say coffee cup. I don't have to think about how I'm going to shape those words before I say them. I just say them. Same thing with drums. You want to play something, you think of it, you play it. And so that's possible. Like I said, I'm really not, hope this doesn't come across the wrong way. I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm trying to say that I've played drums for a long time and I have a comfort level with it. And I think that many of you probably are already there as well. And if you're not, just be encouraged that you can get there. The second thing, and this is not true for everyone, but it is for me, I don't know that I get nervous. I don't think I get nervous, or I have gotten nervous before playing drums in a very, very, very long time. No matter what the situation, I don't get nervous anymore before playing drums. I always feel comfortable about what I'm going to play. The only exception to that, and this is, and that, before I move on from that, let me just say that, like I said, there are many amazingly talented, skilled, more experienced than I am drummers who still do get nervous. But I think that for me and my personality type, that having experience on the drums has gotten me to a place where I no longer get nervous before playing drums. Now, you put a guitar in my hands and put me in front of people, I'll get nervous. You want me to try to pretend to sing something? I say pretend because I can't sing. But you want me to try to do that? Nervous wreck. But I think I'm the personality type where experience gets rid of nerves for me in general. I used to get nervous before doing public speaking in front of groups. I don't get nervous at that anymore either because for the same reason, I've had enough experience doing it, right? So your mileage may vary on that. But I will say the only time that I do get nervous when surrounding a playing situation is honestly when I find myself in a situation where I have to do like a quick changeover. Like if we've played festivals before, or we've played with these big conferences where like the house worship band just got off the stage and they're going to play a video, and we know the video is 9 minutes long, and at the end of that 9 minutes the lights are coming up and you're on, it's time to play. I get nervous about getting all the gear set up on time in those situations. That's actually what causes me to be nervous. Once the gear is done and everything is set up, I can actually relax then and enjoy the playing no matter what the situation, but the setting up is actually what's hard. So just a couple of things. Like I said, I was really reluctant. I wanted to find a way to share this with you without it coming across like I've got it all figured out and I'm awesome and I know everything. But I know there are some of you listening who aren't at that point yet, and I just wanted you to feel like that is a realistic thing you can get to. Many guys don't talk about this kind of stuff, but that's a place you can get to. And I will say that getting experience is a lot easier if you are having fun playing drums. So if you are having trouble having fun practicing, I think there's a previous episode that I've done it's something like how to have fun practicing, or a few tips for having fun while practicing. So maybe check that one out. That'll help you out there. Otherwise, I hope this didn't come across too weird today, but I hope you're doing great, and I hope you get a chance to practice and put some more time in. Every bit of practice you do is valuable, is worth it. So don't neglect practicing just because you can't see yourself getting better in the moment. Keep coming back, keep practicing. It does matter, it does make a difference, and you will become a better drummer by putting in your time. All right, talk to you later. Bye.